CIG has talked a few times about making a player's game experience perhaps more centered around a given planetary body. We can see that in the law system being introduced, where crimes committed at a planet like Hurston may or may not be enforced in other Stanton locations. Recently, they made this statement about planet-centric gameplay in relation to quantum fuel.
We had put in some work on the NPC refueling beacon, just if you run out of fuel, and that was important because we want to try and regulate some of the distances that these ships can travel, because we're starting to think about that new player experience a lot more, and how do we keep people a little closer to maybe their starting planet for a little bit longer, right?
So I wanted to check out the current state of the game to see if it might already support a planet-centric gameplay concept. So as a couple ground rules in these days on MicroTech, a day will be considered about a 2-hour game session. The average amount of time a person might play the game, I know, can vary widely. Some folks might get on and spend 10 hours straight on a weekend, but I was setting a general time frame of about 2 hours because that may be about how much time a person might have at the end of a workday, taking care of things in real life, and then maybe having some downtime to do some gaming, or really any situation where you have some free time. What I wanted to experiment with was, is there enough to do around a single planet location and enough different things to do to maintain good variety? Now, what I was considering a single planet location for MicroTech was going to include its 3 moons and Port Tressler. Anything that would take me outside of that area was going to be considered off limits. I was also going to try to do different things each day and, somewhat unrealistically, separate each kind of gameplay activity. Day 1 was going to be Delivery Box Mission Day. I spawned at Port Tressler and immediately checked the Moby-Glass for delivery missions. MicroTech to Cellin, that's a no. It takes me outside of the MicroTech area. And no, no, no. Here's one from Calliope over to the landing pad lockers on New Babbage. That's a good one, but I'll check and see if there are any more. No, 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 and no. Okay, so there's only one that fit my criteria so far. We'll take that one and move on. Better grab a burrito to stave off the hunger, down some water. Refreshing. And we should be good to go. We'll use the little 315P as our courier ship. I've just liked using this ship more and more lately. And because I bought it in-game, it feels a little extra special. That first delivery mission was completed really quickly, and while en route, I picked up 2 more delivery box missions. They took me back to the same little outpost on Calliope to get both of them. So, with a little weather to contend with, we picked up box 1, picked up box 2, and we were off back to the landing pads to deliver. Now, one thing I want to make clear is that this experiment and the way I'm doing it is not necessarily the most efficient.
Unacceptable.
And I'm not really concerned about making the most amount of money I can per hour. That's not what this whole experiment is about. I'm more interested in seeing all the different things there are to do, and is there enough of a given thing? Also, by committing myself to at least 2 hours of doing the same thing, it helps give me a sense of whether or not there is enough of that activity to support CIG's desire about wanting to have a lot to do in a given planetary location. So for instance, in this example, if you really like doing box missions, are there enough of them to do in the MicroTech area to keep you satisfied and happy? Okay, while completing those 2 deliveries, we picked up another delivery. This one was a little bit different as it took me to a location on MicroTech itself. All these missions I picked up were of the lower payout delivery missions. Usually what I do, and probably what most people do, is accept the highest payout missions they can, and of course that makes sense when trying to make the most amount of money. The higher priced ones, of course, have you traveling a lot further. To stay within the planetary area of MicroTech, I was having to get the lower valued ones, but they were also a very short distance. The next delivery I picked up was on Clio, so off to Clio it was. And by this time, I was actually starting to feel something a little bit different. I was starting to get a sense of location, or importance of location, or maybe a sense of home base. Doing all these small hops, one right after the other, was giving me a different feel than when I had run those other types of delivery missions. Before, I had occasionally picked up a short delivery box, but I had never sequentially strung together 5, 6, 7 in a row like this. It's hard to put it into words, but something definitely felt a little bit different. It was a different kind of experience doing these short delivery missions, all strung together in a row, and all around the same planetary body. I was also really liking all these rooftop landing pads and the delivery stations they had put there at New Babbage. They were super convenient to get to. You got the fun of flying around and flying between the buildings if you wanted. It was really the kind of experience that I hope they include at ArcCorp with all of its buildings, when they reworked the no-fly zone and all of that. Another really cool thing that I just stopped and took note of that had nothing to do with the deliveries themselves was the way the weather in the cold changed the appearance of my suit. I had seen it change and get frosty, and I knew it changed back, but I just paused from everything for a few minutes to actually examine the transition. It was so smooth that it gave me another one of those wow moments of Star Citizen. If you really weren't looking for it like I was, it would just happen subtly in the background, and the next thing you'd know would be, oh wow, my suit's all frosty, or hey, my suit's back to normal. Now in terms of payout, the next mission I picked up surprised me a little. It was about double what I'd been getting before for the same short shuttle kind of deliveries. This one was from Red Wing, and it took me from Port Tressler right down to one of the New Babbage landing pads. I had always thought that the FTL deliveries would be consistently the higher valued ones, but here, as a dedicated MicroTech courier, Red Wing had so far shown to be the highest payout. As I would make these little jumps, I was checking my Moby glass and looking for new deliveries. In the process of doing this first Red Wing delivery, a second Red Wing delivery showed up with this similar higher payout. These still weren't the same value as the long-haul deliveries, but it was nice to see some pop up that made me feel like I was gaining some stonks here. At this point, I was in the process of completing 3 delivery missions, and on the Moby glass, found 2 more. So these short-haul missions were definitely available and starting to pile up. So this helped prove at least one of the things I was experimenting. Would there be enough of a given type of activity to support a person staying at MicroTech for the long haul, and just using that planetary system as a bit of a home base before moving on somewhere else? Because these missions seem to be readily available and continually popping up, I think my answer was yes. There's enough of this happening if I was really into delivery missions to want to keep me at MicroTech and moving these boxes around. The last mission I accepted in this delivery sequence was also a bit different. This one had me picking up a box from the planet of MicroTech itself and delivering it to the Commons. All the others so far had me drop off the box on the rooftop of the landing pads, so I thought this one was pretty cool. I had seen some of the Covalex machines inside of New Babbage, but so far hadn't picked up any box that would actually take me to use them. So I was glad to see that they had some utility. The other thing that made this a bit different from the other deliveries and the city-based deliveries on Lorville and ArcCorp is that I wouldn't have to land my ship at the spaceport. Especially with the 315P, it's small enough to land right outside of the Commons itself and use the outside doors at the garage entrance to bring in the box and complete the mission. I thought this was pretty brilliant by CIG.
That was pretty good!
Not only do we have a readily available spawn point for ground vehicles without having to go inside the spaceport, but it also serves as a direct entry if we want to get straight into the city without necessarily storing our ship at the port. I have to think this was all rather by design to give multiple avenues of utility with all these entrances, as something they learned from doing the other two cities. Which definitely shows they are improving and learning what makes better gameplay each time. What was a little disappointing here, though, was getting trapped in the elevator by the no buttons bug. No way to get out, no way to go anywhere. I guess I'll just stand here for a while in this elevator, holding this box in my hand, and hope someone calls this elevator from the Commons. Or maybe I could put something in global chat and someone would call the elevator for me from the outside. I do feel pretty trapped here, though. Help! Can anyone hear me? I'm stuck in the elevator with a very important delivery box. Somehow I just know how this is all going to end. The members of the Reed organization are being extremely generous again and have donated an Aurora MR with game package for a giveaway. Reed is involved with science, exploration, and engineering, which includes the mining mechanics that we currently have, as well as future salvage. They are also involved in trade and logistics, and have a defense division to keep your mining and cargo hauling safe. Reed is a non-griefing or trolling organization that focuses on collaboration and emphasizes mutual respect for its org members and the community at large. To be eligible to win, just type in a comment to the video. Like and subscribe if you want to. Feel free to use my referral code if you're wanting to get into Star Citizen, and I'll be talking to you later.